I don't got no intro, so fuck it, this the intro. Y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna be doing a movie recap for the movie Acrimony from 2018. I did see this movie, obviously 2018, but I've only watched it one time, right? I watched it the one time and I haven't watched it again. And a lot recently, I've been seeing a lot of people like doing reactions to like movie recaps. So I said, why not try to, you know what I'm saying, do something a little different. I know they ain't a music reaction, but you know, I'm always open to try new things for the channel. So today we're gonna be checking out this video called "His Wife Dumped Him for Being Poor, so he became extremely rich." That's the best get back, y'all. Be successful and then make them mad, you feel me? By Dan Recaps. Shout out to Dan Recaps, because that's whose video we watching today. So with that being said, if you have not seen Acrimony, I recommend watching it first, because obviously it's gonna be spoilers in there, and that's the main reason I chose this, because I didn't want to watch something that I might watch later and then get spoiled, if that makes sense. So we're gonna watch something that I watched once and then don't fucking remember. All right, bet. Let's get to it.
The movie opens on a courtroom as a judge issues a restraining order against a middle-aged woman named Melinda and advises her to seek professional help for anger management issues. During the court-appointed sessions, Melinda blames her ex-husband for everything and accuses him of taking advantage of her. When the therapist questions her about her life, Melinda reluctantly agrees to share everything that had happened. In the past, we see Melinda bumping into a man named Robert Gale during a rainy evening at college. Already upset with the weather, Melinda loses control and hits him before walking away.
I ain't gonna lie, ladies, please keep your hands to yourself. I've been seeing a lot of that over this weekend. Please stop putting your hand on it. Like, that was not necessary. Y'all ran into each other. That's an accident, right? Y'all both fell, you know what I'm saying? Paperwork is messed up. It is what it is. Don't assault him though, goddamn.
The weather, Melinda loses control and hits him before walking away.
But he a freak, he probably like that.
Night, Robert visits her dorm room to return documents she had dropped during their meeting earlier. After her roommate Sarah insists she talks to him, Melinda takes her documents back, but asks him to leave so she can finish her paper.
I feel like Robert, him and Sarah might do some things.
Points out a few mistakes he noticed while going through her documents, which finally gets her attention, and she agrees to take his help. The next day in the library, Robert tells her his dream of building a battery that is capable of charging itself, something that will solve basic power issues and make him rich. Over the tutoring sessions, Melinda begins warming up to Robert, and the two become close. One day, while Robert comforts Melinda over her poor grades, her sisters Brenda and June show up and tell her her mother has died.
Oh, damn.
Robert attends the funeral with Melinda, where Brenda and June express their discomfort with having him around, especially knowing his poor financial situation.
Oh, nah. So wait, so that's why they didn't like him? They wasn't feeling like he broke? Like, y'all so much well off at this current point in time? I thought they was college kids, no? Every college kid is fucked up. I don't know no rich I mean, unless they parents, you feel me? But like, I don't know no like somebody taking care of themselves that's pushing themselves through college that's rich. I don't personally. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's crazy. So Brenda and June, they're not feeling Robert already because of his financial situation. Like, he ain't a college student, you feel me?
With having him around, especially knowing his poor financial situation. After introducing Robert to their husbands, Calvin and Casey, they tell him about Devon, Melinda's ex.
Devon? I hope he's not it's spelled like my name though. So I hope he's not a dickhead. Oh my God.
Their husbands, Calvin and Casey, they tell him about Devon, Melinda's ex-boyfriend.
Oh, he's the ex.
It would upset him, but Robert does not show any reaction.
Good job, Robert.
Seeing Melinda busy with her family, Robert tries to sneak out of the house, but she stops him to thank him for being there. Knowing he came by train, Melinda drops him off back at his RV, where they end up having sex.
Oh yeah, he down bad for sure.
The two start to date, but Melinda's sisters are not happy with their coupling. They advise her not to tell him about the inheritance their mother left.
Listen, y'all, I want to say this, right? I know we only 2 minutes in this as a 12-minute video, but listen, y'all, do what the fuck you want to do. Do not let outside people, outside sources influence your decision and change who you want to be with. You feel me? You want to be with somebody. Look, he down bad, but guess what? She still gave him that cat. You feel me? That was her decision. And now the sisters is trying to like, yo, don't tell him mama left her some money. Like, he gonna rob them. Listen, he been living like this. He in the trailer. I didn't know he was fucked up like that. That's tough. But he in the trailer and he been living his life. You feel me? He got goals. He got ambitions. Let that man live his life. Let him do what he want to do, and let your sister do what she want to do. Y'all mind your fucking business. Ain't that crazy? Everybody want to be in other people's business. You got a husband. Take care of your husband, sweetheart. Take care of your man. Stop worrying about your sister so much.
Coupling. They advise her not to tell him about the inheritance their mother left, as they believe Robert is only after the money. On their next date, Robert tells Melinda he wants to sell his project to a venture capitalist, Preston and Howard. Melinda promises to stay by his side, and Robert shares that he wants to marry her one day. As he often worries about money, Melinda decides to buy him a car as a gift. But a few days after, Melinda stops hearing from Robert.
No way he ran away.
Him, but he tells her that he is just busy working on his battery project.
No way he's an L.
Suspicious of his behavior, Melinda drives over to his RV, where she finds him cheating on her with another woman named Diana Wells.
Robert, you got me acting up like defending your honor and shit. You a fuckboy? And she bought him a car and he just ghosted her. That's tough. Don't be that guy, fellas. Don't be that guy. I can't defend you when you act like that. I can't defend you when you act like that. But look, he said, I want to build with you, sweetheart. And let's just see what happens. But I feel like the notable thing from that is like that he said he want to build with you. Because a lot of these females nowadays, they want a nigga when he already successful, right? They don't want a nigga when he fucked up, when he building something. They want the nigga when he already got it. At that point, that nigga don't need you. That nigga get any bitch he want. That nigga's rich, right? So I want y'all to understand, sometimes, you feel me, if you see a nigga, you build with a nigga, he becomes something, that's better than finding you a rich nigga midlife. You like 30 and you trying to find a rich nigga. That nigga want young bitches. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to hurt no feelings, but
where she finds him cheating on her with another woman named Diana
You know
Wells.
She got that anger too.
Enraged, Melinda crashes her car into the RV with both of them inside.
And she puts their ass in the lake,
destroying his new car and attacking him before passing out.
Yeah, that's
Melinda
OD though.
is rushed to the hospital, where she has to undergo a full hysterectomy due to her excessive internal injuries, leaving her unable to have children.
So she hurting herself
Robert
too.
tries to come see her in the hospital, but Brenda forces him to leave as she holds him responsible for the accident.
That's reasonable.
A few days later, when Melinda is on bed rest in her home, Robert visits her again to apologize and patch things up again. After they get back together, Robert tells her he lost his scholarship, so Melinda decides to pay for his last 2 semesters herself.
Listen, Melinda, you are very fucking generous, okay? You are very fucking generous, and I want to point out also that she forgave him, okay? So at that point, please do not bring up the old shit that happened before you forgave me, because if that was the case, you shouldn't have forgave me, because if you didn't truly, you know what I'm saying, get past it, don't forgive me. Please, Lord, that is a big amount of money. Is that what it was? She gave this nigga that much money. So she had some trust and support, or she just loved that nigga like that. But either way, that's her choice to do so. You feel me? You can't be mad at, like, I don't know where this is going, but
lost his scholarship,
let's just see.
So Melinda decides to pay for his last 2 semesters herself.
2 semesters is
Moved by her gestures, Robert asks her to marry him, and she happily accepts. But her sisters refuse to attend the wedding.
That's fine.
For the next year, Robert spends most of his time working on the battery, while Melinda supports him financially.
Oh shit, so he using all her goddamn red.
To sell his product to Preston, Melinda is forced to get a job at Sarah's office, pulling double shifts as an office assistant and a cleaning lady, because she does not want to go back to her sisters for help.
Okay, and I respect that. She don't want to, look, honestly, she just don't want them to say that, like, you know what I'm saying, you were right, type shit. Look, she ain't got no more of the inheritance money. She spent it all on that nigga. She invested on him, and it didn't show no results. But like, she working. Why that nigga ain't working? Is he working at all? Listen, I understand you got dreams and aspirations. You got things you want to achieve, and you should definitely make time for shit like that, like the things you want to do. But like at the same time, nigga, real life's a thing. You feel me? You got bills. You gotta feed people. You feel me? You gotta take care of your lady, bro. So you should have some type of job, bring some income in. You shouldn't just be focused solely on that and having her take care of you while you work on this thing that may or may not happen, right? It could happen, but it could also not happen. So at the same time, I feel like he should at least been like had a job or something.
A few months later, Robert thinks he has succeeded in finalizing his innovation.
Okay.
But when he tries to use the battery to power the entire house, he has an accident which damages the entire wiring system and puts them into debt.
Damn.
When Robert eventually graduates from university,
he was still in uni.
Melinda is
Crazy.
Overwhelmed as she thinks he will finally get a job and she won't have to carry the entire
so she's
burden
over the
of
whole
their finances herself.
His dream shit. She wasn't the nigga to work.
Her happiness doesn't last long, as Robert reveals he had spent 2 years in prison for trying to rob a grocery store and no companies are ready to hire a felon.
Wow.
Seeing she is disappointed in him, he assures her he just needs to perfect his battery design and secure an interview with Prescott, so Melinda has no choice but to trust him again.
Damn.
This time, she mortgages her house to—
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. She must really love this man, because she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot for him. She put a lot of trust in him, and he's not showing any results. So I can understand if she get fed up a little bit. Right, I ain't gonna completely be on Robert's side. Robert wanted, fuck that. Robert, you gotta show some results, Robert. We can't stand by your side. You ain't showing nothing, man. We just losing money fucking with you. I can understand getting to the point where, like, hey, maybe we gonna leave this nigga. Hold on, it's the last straw, Robert.
To pay for his research, as she still believes in him, but
Yes.
this routine ends up continuing for almost 2 decades,
Nigga, 2
with him
decades?
never having a breakthrough. By this
That's a long time.
Diana has become a secretary at Preston, and Robert approaches her to arrange a meeting with her boss.
Diana is
but
the
it
one from
does
the
not
trailer,
go
right?
over well. The next day,
That he was cheating
Robert
with?
gets a call from the security officer at Prescott, who warns him not to send any more letters or try to contact their employees, or else they will have to call the police.
Okay.
Frustrated, Robert throws his stuff away, and Melinda begs him to focus on getting a job for once so he can help support them too. Knowing the couple will soon lose their house, Melinda's sisters visit them with a plan to save their home. Although still mad at her, they suggest they get a loan from the owner of the restaurant they deliver food for and join them at work. Calvin tells Robert the money will be enough to release the house, but he will have to be on time and never miss a payment, otherwise their trucks might get repossessed. As they insist he give it a try, Robert reluctantly agrees to do it.
And don't
Robert
fuck it up.
starts working with them, but is not happy about giving up on his project and ignores Melinda as punishment.
How you gonna punish her by ignore her, punish her? Because listen, the reality of it is you're gonna be homeless in a second, my brother. You're gonna be homeless in a second. At this point, you gotta do whatever you gotta do to, keep the shit going, keep the boat afloat, right? You sinking, my boy. Listen, you can't be. How you gonna take it out on her? Cause your shit not happening the way you want it to happen, right? And nobody say you gotta give up on your dreams, nigga. We just need you to get a side job. You feel me? Bring some money in, nigga. We fucked up. I just need some help. That's all. So I understand. I ain't really feeling Robert right now. He acting like they doing something wrong, asking him to work a little bit.
Meantime, Diana watches videos of Robert's research and decides to give him a chance. She calls him right in the middle of delivering an important order for the company
He gonna
and
blow it.
informs him that she has arranged his meeting with Prescott. Overwhelmed, he abandons the work to return to the city and visit Prescott. Calvin and Casey find out and rush over to the house to scold him for trying to mess with their jobs and decide to deliver the order themselves.
Okay, at least the
As
order got
they
delivered.
leave, Melinda confronts Robert that her sister had found Diana's wallet in his truck and
you
thinks
notice
he is
she
cheating on
throw
her
too.
again. Melinda has another breakdown and
Means-
starts fighting with him until
He
her
isn't.
sisters intervene, taking her inside the house while Robert leaves for the interview. After making it to the company's office, Robert tells Diana about the fight, but she tells him to focus on his pitch as it's his only chance to make his dreams come true. As Robert begins his presentation, Calvin and Casey tell their wives that they could not deliver the order on time
they ain't make
and
it.
so will not get paid. In the meeting, Prescott is impressed by Robert's work and offers him $800,000 to sell his invention and the research, but Robert refuses, insisting to keep the patent in his name. Returning home after, Robert explains to Melinda that he only met Diana for business reasons, but no one believes him. Melinda
That's understandable. You cheated with Diana before, so she got valid reason at least to understand. This nigga turned down 800K though. But a lot of these like super corporations, like these businesses like that, they would have took that shit for 800K. They could see the potential in it, and they would have flipped that shit for billions probably. So I guess it's smart that he decided not to do it, but like, I don't know if he'll see another opportunity. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was 800K would have saved him, if that makes sense. But is it worth that? I don't know.
met Diana.
Look at her. She's angry though. She's finna beat his ass.
No one believes him. Melinda also expresses her anger with him for not accepting a deal which could have solved all their problems and asks for a divorce.
Okay.
Robert collects his stuff and leaves the house, which is soon foreclosed by the bank. Melinda's depression worsens as she is forced to live with her sisters while Robert takes refuge at a shelter.
Damn.
Seeing her upset, Melinda's sisters set her up with her ex, Devon, who is now divorced and living single. While on a date together, Melinda spots Robert working in the kitchen of the restaurant and thinks all of her struggles were in vain, as he could never even secure a stable job. A few days later, Robert meets Melinda in the lawyer's office and tries to apologize, but when she refuses to listen, he signs the divorce papers and leaves.
Okay.
When Robert gets a call from Diana, he tells her about living in a shelter, and she picks him up and takes him to live at her house, where she comforts him that things will get better with time. After a few days, Diana tells him Prescott has offered him a multi-million-dollar deal.
Wait. So how, like, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. But at the same time, how much time has passed since they offered them the initial $800,000? Because that divorce, I mean, it had to be a little process, a little bit of time, because they got divorced and everything. He was working. What made them come back and revisit that? Like, yo, we need to, you know what I mean? Like, what caused that? I don't understand that. Like, they just came back to this dude's invention and thought about, like, let's give him more money. We really need this, or what? Did she go back to work? Did she tell them about the plan? Like, I don't know. I don't understand how much time passed and what made them go back and revisit. Like, yo, we really need this battery.
Diana tells him Prescott has offered him
whoa. How much is multi-million? Let me see that.
After a few days, Diana
that's $75 million.
Tells him Prescott is
way more than
a multi-million-dollar
You take
deal
that one,
where he can keep the copyright to himself and
he
just
keeps the copyright,
license the battery to the company. Robert begins to cry, overjoyed that after everything he went through, he has finally got what he worked his entire life for. After finalizing the deal, Robert visits Melinda at her office and gives her a check for $10 million and the keys to her house, which she had just bought back. Now regretting her decision to leave him, Melinda returns home and tells her sisters about what happened with Robert. Frustrated, Melinda accuses her sisters of destroying her life by constantly interfering with her relationship with Robert.
Hey, Melinda, I ain't gonna lie, Melinda, you gotta take some accountability, because at the end of the day, it was your decision. Like, they intervened, but at the end of the day, you made the decision to lead a nigga, right? Like, you said, I want the divorce, you signed the papers as well. Like, those are things that you did. While they may have interjected and you know, pushed you in a direction, at the end of the day, you did it. So you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. And it's understandable. I'm not saying that like this is her fault that she's like he rich now and she not with him. That nigga dragged you for decades, right? That's any reasonable person probably would have left that nigga. I ain't gonna lie. You did a lot more to him than I feel like a lot of people would have done. But like, what's the problem now? He gave you 10 mil. He gave you 10 mil. He bought your crib back. He solved everything. He wrote all his wrongs, in my opinion, other than cheating on you. Like, I don't know what he could do, like, emotionally to kind of fix that for you, but you know, he trying.
Of destroying her life by constantly interfering with her relationship with Robert. Melinda then visits Robert at his penthouse, where she tries to seduce him, but is shocked after Diana shows up and introduces herself as Robert's fiancée.
Okay.
Feeling humiliated,
spicy.
Melinda storms out of the penthouse, angry that Diana is living the life that could have been hers. Imagining the two of them together, Melinda becomes consumed by her rage. When Melinda
she got that fire in her.
Robert has been buying Diana everything she ever wanted, Melinda begins stalking her and posting hate comments online. One day, while Diana is busy with wedding preparations, Robert tells her that Melinda is suing them, claiming the deal happened before their divorce. The hearing begins.
Okay, so now she's trying to get, I don't understand. She's just bitter at this point. The nigga gave you $10 million. $10 million, y'all. And isn't this solved by a simple like fact check on the date that he was given the deal? Like the business that gave him the money. You just check the date that they did it. It's going to be after the date they got divorced, right? So unless she's implying that they held off on the date, which I guess you could argue for, but at the same time, the nigga gave you $10 million that he didn't have to give you, right? Like, if the nigga really was trying to scam you and ain't want you to have nothing, why'd he give you $10 million, buy your crib back? And this makes sense. I feel like she's a little upset, a little bitter. She a little better that she didn't stick around long enough, and now, it also, I feel like it might not have been as bad if it wasn't Diana. You feel me? The girl that's been interfering in their relationship this whole time, from her perspective, like, he cheated on her with her. Then he found her. She found her wallet in his car, assuming that they cheated again, even though they weren't. But it's understandable she could be acting this way because of the girl as well.
After examining the documents between Robert and Prescott,
that's what I'm saying. Documentation solves this.
Melinda's allegations false and dismisses the case. Robert and Diana file a counter lawsuit against Melinda for harassing them.
Okay, they get a restraining
order issued against her. Seeing
she
her
crazy
rising frustration, Melinda's sisters advise Robert and Diana to hire security for their wedding, as they fear Melinda may try to intervene. Meanwhile, Melinda shows up and picks a fight with them for talking behind her back. Furious, Melinda then visits the bridal boutique to destroy Diana's wedding dress with acid. Melinda is then called to the court again, where she learns about Diana's pregnancy. On the judge's orders, Melinda...
It's a lot of shit building up on this woman. I could understand if she do something crazy. She couldn't get pregnant, right? Because the accidents that she received while running they shit off because he was cheating, right? At the same time, that's still her fault, though. Why you do that? Leave the nigga. Leave the nigga right there. Just leave the nigga. Who knows? Because you got to think about it like this. You kind of made him. You kind of added to his success as well. You gave him a lot of chances. You gave him a lot of money. You supported that nigga for a long time. If you would have just left his ass right there, he probably wouldn't have finished college. I mean, I don't want to bash it, but let's talk about reality. Like, you played the part. You took the nigga back. You forgave him. And now she can't have a baby, and she finding out this girl that he cheated on her with is having a baby. And she couldn't because she pushed their ass, like, you know what I mean? Like, she got to take some accountability, but I'm not saying I don't understand why she did some of the shit she's doing,
where
right?
she learns about Diana's pregnancy.
Damn, this is a long video.
I
ain't planning for it to be this long. That's
sessions where the therapist suspects she might have borderline personality disorder.
Oh, God.
But Melinda disagrees. The therapist says she should have listened to Robert's justifications, but Melinda is not ready to accept her mistake and walks out of the office. As Robert and Diana get married on a yacht, Melinda's family keeps her at the house to prevent her from hurting them.
Oh shit,
Melinda,
they stake out that
however,
bitch.
Manages to sneak out of the house and raids Robert's boat, where she accuses him of wasting the best years of her life and shoots him. Robert tries to reason with her, but Melinda is still not ready to listen and makes the crew members jump off the boat before confronting Diana.
Yeah, this bitch is crazy.
Intervenes and throws Melinda into the water before asking Diana to start the boat, getting her to save the crew members first. Melinda makes it back on board again and intends to kill Robert with an axe, but is caught by the anchor and dragged into the water.
And he tried to save her life.
While Diana and the crew members rush to rescue Robert. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.
Yo, that was fucking insane. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I started to remember things like the further we got. Like, I remember the bitch was gonna do some crazy shit at the end. But like, I think when I initially watched this, I was under the impression like that nigga did nothing wrong, right? He ain't did nothing wrong. The bitch is crazy. Like, yeah. And then I remember there being a lot of controversy about it because the girls, like a lot of the females was like, nah, that nigga, he got what he deserved, like all that shit, right? Like, she ain't crazy for that. But at the same time, it's like, you gotta acknowledge with both parties there, right? They both did wrong shit. They both, like, she supported this nigga. She believed in him for a long time. This nigga, listen, he didn't do anything. He didn't show any sign of becoming successful for decades, right? Decades. That's a long time for you to put trust in somebody without seeing anything. The nigga didn't seem like he wanted to work. Only thing he cared about was the one thing, and I feel like that's where it got messy there too. Him not wanting to do anything but that, which again, I understand wanting to pursue your dream, your passion, and wanting things to flourish or whatever, but nigga, at the same time, you got a wife, you got a house, you got bills, you got responsibilities you got to take care of. So at some point, you got to like balance it. You got to balance it out. Yeah, keep time for your project and put more time and invest in that. But at the same time, take care of your family, bro. But I do feel like 10 million, she should have took that and got the fuck out of there, right? That's way more money than she invested in him. I guess you can't get the time back, right? That's priceless. So that's the one thing that she probably can be like super pissed off. I spent all this time with this dude. You know what I mean? I supported him, held him down, and I don't get anything for it. But yes, you do. You get $10 million for that. He didn't have to give you that. He gave you $10 million. That's life changing. He changed your life. You could have go with Devon. Y'all could have had a great life. I wouldn't have got with Devon though. Devon, He might have been a fuck boy. Why he get divorced? They ain't really touch on that, did they? Nah. She just left. She didn't care about Devon. I also think that the fact that, like I said, Diana was involved in this, like, it's like fire, like just adding fuel to the fire. Because if it was any other woman, sure, she probably still would have been mad, right? Because, like I said, the time thing, she put a lot of time in it, and then somebody else living her life, so to speak. But the fact that it's her, the woman who caused her not to be able to have a baby, again, she got to take accountability. She did that. She didn't have to drive the car into it, but she did it out of rage because that woman was there. So, and then to find out she's pregnant, she got this dress that she marrying this man that she was supposed to be marrying because he did marry, you know what I'm saying? It's just tough. So I can understand her doing some of the shit. I can understand why she did it. I don't agree with it. You feel me? Because she got $10 million. You should have kept it pushing. Move on with your life. You feel me? But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie, man. Man, look, I enjoyed it. This video long as shit. Shout out to anybody who sits down and watches it, because this is 25 fucking minutes. I ain't think it was gonna be this. Let's say 12 minutes, but I didn't think I was gonna stop and talk so much about like the shit that was going on. All right, but dope movie. Hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all want more of these movie reaction recaps, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you on that next one. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.